What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Young Brothers Presents
Geeks on FLEEK.
I'm your host, DeMarcus, aka GDX.
And what it do, it's your boy Dominik, aka DYoungPromos.
Alright, you have definitely tuned in and turned up. Let's get ready to turn up. Alright, man, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to roll through here. Lots of cool stuff this week. It's funny, I would say it was kind of a quiet week on the geek sphere. Just a little, no big majors, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
few leaks.
Just a little things coming out, here and there.
Yeah, nothing earth shaking. I think a lot of earth shaking stuff happened around Avengers 2 release time.
Yeah.
So let's roll into some quick comics news. For comics fans and hip hop heads, Ed Piskor with his Hip Hop Family Tree is rolling into monthly. It's going monthly from Fantagraphic Books, and I think, wow, that's cool. Now, if you all don't know about Ed Piskor's Hip Hop Family Tree, it's a comic book biographical, I'd say, that charts the history of hip hop.
Yeah, it's very DNA, and just pretty much any aspect of the culture, even like maybe influences,
Yeah, it shows.
It's pretty.
Sorry, Nick.
Oh, it's all good, but pretty much, it's quite simply literature for the hip hop heads.
Yeah, it's like, it has great artwork, quirky artwork, but I love Ed Piskor's style because his style reminds me of those underground zines back in the day. Kind of a little R. Crumb in there.
You know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah,
it does have when I was reading the book, reading the free comic book, I was like, okay, why does this style look so familiar? Why is it? I couldn't put my tongue on it. And yeah, you said it best. It's R. Crumb. It's almost kind of like that keep on trucking thing in a way too.
That's R. Crumb, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's going monthly, and that's really cool. That'll definitely, because it is hard waiting for these volumes. I mean, when they finally come out, like 1 and 2, I've read those. When they come out, man, it's like, they're like, you're waiting, you're just like thirsty for, because they're so good and they're so complete and they're so in depth. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of these stories, just growing up with hip hop, I've seen a lot of these stories play out. But even though I've seen a lot of that stuff, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I didn't know. How like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube first met at a party, and it's really cool how that plays out. My only deal is going on that monthly. I don't know. Well, I don't see too much of a problem because he's still in the early to mid 80s. Yeah. But once he moves further up, I can see a lot of the younger, because his intentions are to go to modern day hip hop. I can see a lot of those current acts trying to influence.
Yeah, they trying to make them. They're trying to take away certain elements about about that life. You know what I'm saying, or anything that could be quote unquote incriminating evidence to them.
Yeah, because what's so funny about it is, like, if you got some kind of weird defect or something, or he's gonna draw it. He's not being mean. He's just kind of representing.
He's trying to. You're just representing the personalities that he's he's writing about and drawing about,
Mm-hmm. And if you have like a speech impediment, he writes the dialogue.
He writes it. Yeah, writes it so perfectly.
So yeah, mad props to Ed Piskor. Glad to see Hip Hop Family Tree getting its just due. Also, well, it looks like Fantagraphics. It's good to see Fantagraphics is seriously doubling down, on Hip Hop Family Tree, because let's face it, hip hop, even though it's mainstream, still not a lot of respect.
Still a lot of it's not a lot of respect. I think especially now in the modern day age, people just think hip hop is just being, just thugs and trapping and booty clapping and twerking and all that stuff.
And that's an aspect of it.
That's just an aspect of it. But I mean, honestly, this is something that this current generation needs. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's probably a good way for it's a good way for us to get back to our roots.
Yeah, and there's a very deep story in hip hop. It's more than just some guys and ladies just start talking over a beat. No, it's very, very, very great history. So it's good to see Fantagraphics doubling down on it. Speaking of doubling down, Disney, Marvel, Netflix, Daredevil. the words got out that they've got a lot of plans for merchandise coming out, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I wonder if they're gonna maybe have a Daredevil costume out there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if they have a Daredevil costume, everybody's gonna be in that damn costume.
Yeah. As long as they don't try to imitate any of the fight scenes, but knowing the costumes, they probably gonna have, they're probably gonna have both of them. They're gonna have his earlier. They're gonna probably have his, his all black look, and then they're gonna probably, you go to his fully costume look.
Well, it's funny because they shouldn't have the black one.
Oh yeah, because you
can
easily do that. Yeah, you can just grab whatever.
Get some black pants, together. Under Armour shirt.
You can pretty much you can get your Macklemore on and go to the thrift shop for that stuff.
Wrap your fist up. But it's really cool seeing that Disney and Marvel are doubling down on Daredevil like that, and it goes to show you that Daredevil was the most hardcore thing from the MCU thus far. So knowing that Marvel has Blade. Knowing that they have the Punisher,
yes, then
it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. Through Ghost Rider, maybe even Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah,
it'd be real awesome to see them in the MCU now.
So all the Marvel Knights are on the table.
Yes,
and that's definitely a good damn thing because I got tired of people going. Well, I got tired of people saying, well, it can't happen because you can't do it R-rated. You don't have to do it R-rated.
Yeah, you don't have
Daredevil was a great example of that. It was hardcore and not R-rated, and it had a lot of cringe-worthy scenes.
Yes. Oh, my God. Especially the scene with Kingpin beating the hell up, beating that Russian dude up, and just smashing his head with the door. Decapping him. It was like, woo! That was just some... Yeah, that was some stuff that would just make you go ahead and say, "Oh my God!" Okay.
Oh my God! And it's cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh, go. Sure, you go ahead, man. Go ahead.
And it's cool to see, just kind of underlining that. It's just kind of cool to see that despite that more hardcore, harder edge, content, Disney and Marvel are going forward.
Yeah, they're like really confident in this. And it's definitely a really, it's a great look for Disney because Disney try to stray away from stuff like this. Most of the time it's like they're like, okay, it can be edgy like Pirates, but it can't be like as what I'm saying. Back in the day, it couldn't be as edgy as Daredevil, and I'm just happy to see that they're confident about it. But now my big thing would be, I hope that while they're more confident in the merchandise, they're confident in crossing over the Netflix stuff and the television stuff so we can have a more cohesive in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah,
because that's where it's really going to count at.
I mean, will we see Coulson in Daredevil? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Will we see the Defenders maybe on the episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully so. I mean, hey, Jessica Jones, all those street characters are, but I could see Coulson, dropping in Jessica Jones' office or whatever. So yeah, that's a really cool thing to see that, seeing Daredevil get his just due, knowing that they're cool with a harder edge. Not more comics news, comic movie news. So, like we said, wasn't a huge week, but there were a few jewels just kind of dropped throughout in the way of on-set picture reveals. We saw Jessica Jones, still a little weird about that. Still a little weird about that. Not quite sure I'm gonna be ready for that. And she looks different she looks different. I really hope that her acting pulls it off for Jessica. And
I really hope David Tennant is like, he gets his purple man look, like he looks purple.
David Tennant needs to be purple.
He's gotta be purple.
It might look foolish, but
that's the visual of that character.
He needs to have the purple.
And it adds a, once you read about how despicable this character is, that him being purple just adds this whole different like undertone to him.
Yeah,
it's just a definite a creep factor.
A creep factor. I think, sadly enough, though, I think what might end up happening is they might go from his victim's perspective, like he tricks people into thinking that he's that he looks normal. We see him as normal. Hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah,
he's got to be purple, man.
He's got to be
purple, man. I mean, he's got to be purple, man. But I think one of the bigger on-set picture photo reveals was human Rocksteady and Bebop for the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Bay Turtles.
Yes, Bay Turtles. It seems like from this picture, things might be looking okay for Bay Turtles. I'm not, I can't say that, I can't say I'm sold 100% because, hey, considering the name that's involved with this, you just you usually got to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But the picture, yes, folks, the man known as Uncle Ruckus and Smart Brother, Gary Anthony Williams, is playing Bebop with purple mohawk and all.
Purple mohawk. And you know what? That's what just kind of puts you on the fence about this. Now, Bay Turtles TMNT #1. No, I didn't like it. Well, I was against it going in. I freaked out. And then when I watched it, it was just kind of a man.
Yeah, it was kind of a blend type thing.
Still hated the Turtles look. That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe.
I like them not being hulking beasts. I like them going into it being a physical underdog, being ninjas. But it's really cool, though, that they are embracing the cartoon. Let's face it, the first 90s series didn't even have Bebop and Rocksteady or Krang, anything like that. And I remember coming out of the theater, kids were going, where was Bebop and Rocksteady? Mm-hmm. Because at that point, 1990, at that point, it was from 87 to 90, it was all about that cartoon.
Yeah.
That defined the,
that defined the Turtles in a lot of people's heads.
So it kind of screwed people up when you saw that movie in the 90s. As, oh, this is comic based. It's funny because as a kid, I actually owned TMNT #1. Just went by the wayside. I'm so mad about that. So when I watched the movie in my head, it was like, oh, this is like the comic book. That's different, But everybody was like, where's Rocksteady and Bebop? So that's a plus for this.
This is finally the movie. Like for all you people that were like, for all you salty people that wasn't feeling Toka and Razor in Secrets of the Ooze. Yes, this movie, the movies are going to kind of redeem themselves by having Bebop and Rocksteady finally in there.
Now, I think one of the biggest shockers is who they're getting to play Rocksteady. You want to drop that little piece of info, Nick?
Oh, my goodness, yes. They got WWE's very own Sheamus as Rocksteady.
The Great White.
Yes, the Great White will be Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, and he has a thick accent too.
Yeah, he has a very thick accent. See, a part of me is wondering if that thick accent is gonna stop him from maybe saying this nice little reference in Turtles lore. When Rocksteady says, "Say your prayers, Turtles."
I don't think it's gonna be too much of a I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue because it's funny. On the show, he's Russian.
Yeah, on the show, show he's Russian.
So your prayers, Turtles.
But yeah, I would love to. I mean, honestly, y'all gotta. I would love to see Sheamus say that. I would love to see Sheamus Rocksteady say that. Like he has to say your prayer, Turtles.
Yeah, that's just. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that line. That is just so crazy how that line ascended from a video game.
Yeah,
and then just made its way through.
Yeah, like because you saw it. Yeah, you saw it in the video game, and then you saw it in Turtles Forever.
Yeah,
and you was and it was. And I think you pointed out it was almost done the same way, like the game. And it was like,
what? Did you really drop that line?
Yeah, I was like, oh snap.
So yeah, Sheamus is Rocksteady. They looked really cool. They look really cool on set. It's just one photo, but they look really cool on set from the looks of it. And I'm thinking because Anthony Williams. Gary Anthony Williams always messes his name up. But I'm thinking because he is the veteran actor. Most likely,
they're gonna put more focus on him.
Bebop is probably going to be the leader of the two.
He's probably going to have the. He's probably going to have the best lines too.
Yeah, he is. He's got to.
I mean, considering that this, Gary Anthony Williams, his work on Boondocks and then even Undercover Brother, and even his work on his work on the infamous Soul Plane.
Oh, God.
I mean, he's good. He's good with he's really.
I forgot. Yes. About fucking Soul Plane.
Yes. Wow. He's Soul Plane. But I think he's definitely gonna bring a lot of that, a lot of his that comedic, a lot of that comedic stuff in there, But and then see him doing voice acting. I'm kind of curious if he's gonna try to make himself sound like the the 80s cartoon Bebop,
with
or
the
will
snorts. Oh my god, the snorts. Yeah. Because I can't lie, I probably could do it at that. Because I'm kind of liking off of the 2012 show.
You like it? DL Smooth.
DL Smooth, Truckee from Pootie Tang. I love that. I love the fact that he hates the name Bebop.
Yeah, like that.
My name ain't Bebop, fool. that was my shit right there. I need to catch up on that show too.
Yeah, well, same here, man. Usually I just catch I usually with that I usually catch maybe usually the episode that everybody talk about, like if it features a certain character from Turtles lore, I watch it. But yeah, I need to really sit down and actually like watch it, because I know that. Yeah, that cartoon is just killing it.
They're killing it with they're killing it. I mean, they're just killing it. It's like all across the board.
Yeah, it's nothing but 187 with that show.
But it's funny. It's funny, we got Sheamus in this, and it's funny because, well, he's a bad guy in this, and his character has recently become a bad guy in WWE, so they don't have that whole screwed up thing. You remember with Drax? Drax is a good guy, and yet they messed up Batista's return, so he had to go heel. It was like, oh man, come on WWE, you dropped the ball on that big time. But they're trying to get that talent out there, and you can't hate them too much for it. It's better than those damn WWE films.
Oh yes.
Now speaking of WWE, well, also in TMNT 2,
Stephen Amell
as
Casey Jones. And I gotta say, this had to be the perfect kind of what's that word, actor illusion, because okay, we all know Stephen Amell's biggest role is Green Arrow. Mm-hmm. He's playing, he plays, kind of a mildly sociopathic vigilante in a way. So him being Casey Jones is kind of cool in that sense. And we know, Stephen Amell is going to enjoy being intense. I mean, Casey Jones, is like all the way a sociopath compared to, Arrow.
He's going to be intense. Lady's going to love the shit out of him.
Lady's going to be like, lady's going to be, ladies, y'all going to be thirsty for him. Yeah, like the movie theater is going to probably have to, have an endless supply of Powerade, because the thirst will be critical for Stephen Amell.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Thirst Trap Casey Jones, but I'm looking forward to him in that.
I just hope he says Gungala. He gotta say Gungala.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he probably will say it, because once again, Bay Turtles, they got the funky look, but it seemed like an episode of a cartoon, and not in a bad way like the '90s TMNT 3. So that's so Stephen Amell's in TMNT 2. But we caught Stephen Amell embroiled in the beginning of something that might be epic in WWE.
Yes.
In a recent pay-per-view, he had a little run-in issue. Well, not a run-in, because run-in means something different in wrestling. But he was sitting, in the crowd, ringside,
and
Stardust, a.k.a. Cody Rhodes,
decided that he wanted to be on some fuckboy shit and getting Stephen Amell's face. And Stephen Amell was like, Stephen Amell was basically showing him, hey, you want to do this? I'll show you I'm about that life. And he told him, hey, you need to you need to back, give me 50 feet.
And it was on. I don't think they really mixed it up. No, they didn't mix it up.
It was pretty much like, your typical kind of, wrestling kind of stare down. This was kind of the thing that was kind of building. It's the type of stuff that builds that energy for fans.
Yeah, to get
and have people talking.
And yes, before you put it in the comments, yes, we know wrestling is predetermined. So
yeah, we know. We know the possible outcome, folks. But come on, this is gonna be entertaining, and it's crazy. It's wild that WWE's doing this, and they're doing this with a great actor who's on a great show.
Well, on top of that,
and
Amell is a WWE fan,
huge WWE fan. He's living the fanboy dream. So I bet when WWE even pitched this idea, he was probably like happy as hell. He was probably cheesing, man. He was probably cheesing like the Cheshire Cat.
And he was angling too. I don't want to say angling, but he did. use social media to kind of put his intentions out there. Like a long time ago, he was talking about WWE. Hey, WWE, what's up, WWE? And it's good to see WWE picking up on that. And I think it's going to be really good just all across the board because he brings his fan base to the whole thing. It's always cool that if you recognize in professional wrestling, we also do professional wrestling on this podcast.
Yes.
If you recognize in professional wrestling, almost all of the major movements have been set off by a celebrity event. You had Rock and Wrestling, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Then you had the Attitude Era set off by Degeneration X and Mike Tyson. Messed up part is the PG era really hasn't been connecting anything.
Yeah.
They had a little half-ass thing with John Cena and
and then
Kevin Federline, K-Fed.
Yeah, which was it kind of was working a bit, but then it fell on the wayside. Yeah, it's John Cena. People weren't feeling him. And then, they tried to do something with, with Floyd Mayweather and Big Show, and that went like a fart in church.
That was an ego stroke and reach around for Floyd Mayweather. And this current era in WWE has not really had that big celebrity event that's going to get them all this notice. And I think Stephen J. Amell is going to be a really good asset for that. Now, the weird side, I don't want to say downside because I do recognize the positive and the negatives. The weird side, Stardust in his promo on Stephen J. Amell said something like, well, I know you're not just Stephen J. Amell, I know you're
the Arrow.
The Arrow.
And I think it was crazy. I think Stardust was trying to get his joke on with that.
Joke.
I mean, I was like, wow, man, you struggle joker here.
And so WWE, rumor has it that first off, rumor has it that it's going to be a matchup at this year's SummerSlam. Also in the rumor mill is that WWE might want him to be the Arrow, the Arrow character in ring and doing his thing.
And see, that's a very kind of that might go really bad for y'all because it's like you mentioned that you mentioned and even showed me when WCW had RoboCop come in, but then I think we both remember when within the continuity of this TV show, USA's G versus E, when they had Mankind introduce the G
versus E characters. Yeah, they were in character.
And they was in character. And
what the hell?
And the crowd was quiet. Yeah. So honestly, we're hoping that maybe y'all don't have him as Arrow, but he just, he comes out to the theme, he comes out to the theme music.
Accompanied by a cast member.
Accompanied by a cast member.
Get Diggle in there to help him out.
Yeah. Oh, you look at that. Yes. Well, heck, I was like, maybe have a possible run in from John Diggle, aka David Ramsey, or heck, Flash, Grant Gustin, or even Arsenal Colton Haynes.
Oh
yeah. Now for your valet. Now if you're gonna have somebody come out, with Stephen Amell. For your valet, it's gotta be the smoking Emily Bette Ricards. Yeah, she has to. It'd be perfect to have her come out, and the crowd, dudes will be just fiending for her.
Yes, Felicity all the way. I'm sorry, Caitlyn. It's funny. Recently on the Flash, I see why Caitlyn has her admirers, but Felicity
is just like, man.
I'm just gonna keep it that because I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to get ourselves in trouble and stuff. But
Felicity, that'd be dope. But it's a weird thing for me because DYoungPromos said, it could be a good thing, but I reminded him of that RoboCop thing. I think the only thing that might save it is in that era when we had RoboCop coming out with to help Sting against the Four Horsemen. Even when we had Shaft, you remember Samuel Jackson?
Oh my God!
To help him find a Crash Holly or something. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson, who everybody knows is Samuel Jackson, was Shaft on the show. I think the thing is back then. They had kayfabe. Yes, and for you all not to know, kayfabe is the code of professional wrestling that everything that happens on screen, you kind of represent it as real. That's keeping it in kayfabe. And when you do something to kind of shatter the illusion of wrestling, that's breaking kayfabe. And that was a very serious code way back in the day in the business. And a lot of old schoolers still really want that, you know. It's so much to the effect of good guys could only travel with good guys with bad guys, and be seen with each other in public. They were that serious about that. Mm-hmm. And over the years, thanks to ECW and stuff like that, kayfabe, that whole code kind of got shattered. Thanks to the internet, because we saw the backstage story.
We saw the backstage story. I mean, and
now WWE,
and the times are more cynical. Yeah, people are a bit more cynical.
And WWE, you know, I'm sure it was a really rough process, because they said a lot of old school guys just did not like it. But WWE now, they acknowledge people as characters.
Yep.
And so knowing that, and I think WWE. It's one of those weird things. I don't want to. It's kind of stronger for, but at the same time, you can't go back to kayfabe era because it's like, I mean, because we know, you know, everybody knows that Stephen Amell is an actor. Mm-hmm. Green Arrow is, you know, Arrow is a character, but for WWE to probably try to go that route, to try to go back to that old school kayfabe, that's gonna be a really big Hail Mary for them, because they better hope that audience is filled with full of Arrowverse fans. Yeah.
Because I mean that's
Marks that are willing to go for it.
Yeah, Marks is willing to go for it, and man, I hope before he even steps in the ring with Stardust, I hope he says, "You have failed this city."
Or this universe, or the universe. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing. Not too much of a bad idea. Now, speaking of bad ideas, Paramount. Companies that brought you such classic and timeless hits as Transformers 1, Transformers 2, Transformers 3, Transformers 4, Electric Boogaloo, and so forth. So basically, Paramount put it out there that, okay, first it was put out there that Paramount wants to do the Marvel movie thing.
They trying to, pretty much, Paramount they want to try, you know, they pretty much want to swagger jack Marvel with the whole shared universe thing, and they think they could try to do it with Transformers. I'm like, no, y'all, you can't do it with Transformers. If y'all, maybe if you want to do it with the rest of your Hasbro properties, it might kind of work. But no, y'all trying to do this with just simply Transformers, and you're trying to do a Bumblebee spinoff as the first of these things.
Well, the first one I think is going to be, I don't know if you, the first one, it should be a Transformers only movie.
Transformers only movie
set probably on Cybertron.
Oh, no God. Human characters. Are you saying they're gonna try to do War for Cybertron?
I don't know if that storyline. But no,
because if they do that, because War of Cybertron is well respected. Yeah, I mean the video game, everything. You know, I think even the novels are well respected. Mm-hmm. For a real talk, Michael Bay, if y'all gonna be messing with that for your, as your Cybertron only prequel, please follow that source material, because people will rage.
I'm not sure it's a prequel. I'm not sure it was a prequel,
but it might be a
Cybertron.
Okay, it might be a separate type of story.
Okay, as much as people complain about the humans in the Transformers movies, I was one of them. I used to enjoy that G1 series, and the G1 series, it's totally okay to have just Spike and Sparkplug and an occasional girlfriend for Spike, and it worked. And you had Raoul, and they would just kind of throw a human character in here and there. And I got accustomed to that. So when they announced, the movies, and I saw, in the first one, Michaela and Sam and his parents, and I was like, what the hell? But the funny thing about a movie is you kind of need, especially with the Transformers, you need that human element. The human element, because almost everybody in that movie is almost like the audience surrogate.
Yeah.
What was not Dark of the Moon? Which one was the darkest one?
Dark of the Moon.
And you needed to see humans get fucked up.
Yes.
To see how dangerous the Decepticons were.
It was nightmare fuel, pure nightmare fuel, folks. You got to see why having Transformers fighting each other is a scary deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and not mindless Godzilla monsters.
No,
and stuff.
you just got the.
Yeah.
You talking about really sentient life forms. You talking about maybe what could be a Type 3 civilization. Yes, I just Fermi paradoxed it here, folks. But yeah, you got to see just the fear of that, the fear of just having these big machines going at it, and
so for that human thing, I think it's definitely needed in the movies. And another thing is, they didn't do much investing in characters in this Transformers series, like except Optimus Prime, Bumblebee. Anybody else is pretty much fodder.
Yep.
Ratchet just pretty much hangs around.
Yeah.
Megatron to a limited degree. Starscream not at all.
Yeah, they didn't give it. Yeah.
So it's like, if the characters were built up and more of the characters were built up, then, hey, a Cybertron movie might be cool. Another thing is, I'm not trying to see a whole bunch of damn bug bots flipping all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, then you hear that you hear the Bram every scene.
The Bram. Yeah. Clank. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we're not trying to see all this. You got this hyperkinetic action between these bug bots, and you confused, like, okay, who the fuck is this? Okay, who's this guy? Is this who's doing this to who? Okay, I'm not
getting it.
Yeah,
it's like if it's not Optimus and Bumblebee, I don't know who the shit it is. It's just it's weird. So, and then the Bumblebee spinoff, come on. And if he's not talking, he's doing no. That's from Prime. No, in the movies, he does the turn of the radio.
Yeah, he does the radio thing.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering though, like, okay, with that Bumblebee spinoff, is it gonna be kind of the lukewarm Robots in the Skies cartoon? I mean, is it gonna
not, because they don't have any of that they don't have any of that Prime.
Yeah, they don't have any of that material. But you know how they like to ass pull certain characters out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, shit. They took Age of Ultron, the name, and
Yeah.
So who knows? So yeah, that's Paramount's bad idea. Paramount, all these companies, because Sony tried to pull that shit too. You can't do the Marvel map model does not work
for everybody.
And even if, like, let's say if Image wanted to do something like that, it's the Marvel model. It might not work for them.
It might
not work for them, So, yeah, that's a bad idea. Now, Disney, we talked about Disney, doubling down on the Netflix Daredevil thing. Disney right now is making a shit ton of good ideas.
They're making a shit ton of...
Yeah. Tron 3, out. It's been canceled. No, not happening.
Yeah, no Tron 3, which I'm just like, man... I know for me, I actually kind of enjoyed the movie.
You enjoyed it too?
Yeah, I liked it. Because, I mean, they had some reference to the old movie, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell that, okay, this is a world that has truly evolved. And then and then one of the heroes he does a heel turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tron.
He's Tron, but Tron was like, a kind of like a brainwashed dragon.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges' character.
Jeff Bridges' character, Clue, was the heel. Mm-hmm. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But the sad part is, I'm like, man, really Disney? Because Daft Punk is like, big. They're really, really huge, and let's be real. Tron 2, yes, it may have not been like the critical darling you wanted to be, but it was memorable for that soundtrack. Let's be real. Let's be real. That soundtrack, that soundtrack fronted by Daft Punk, that was kind of like their comeback in a way before they did before they put out that really good album.
That's probably one of the best parts about. The Tron soundtrack is actually seen as their comeback, because they they stumbled back. I'm sorry, they stumbled a little bit, and then
And so I'm just like, man, Disney, maybe you could maybe since now Daft Punk is blown up, really, really blown up.
Yeah.
I mean, let's do another Tron. Let's do it. I think they should try to do another Tron movie. Just get some better screenwriters. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say they need to try to Tron. It's funny because even Tron, Tron. I'm not gonna call it Tron 1. Tron back in the day, it was always just that weird movie that, like, some of the most fringe of nerd culture enjoyed. Even back then, Tron has always just kind of enjoyed that cult group of fans.
And it was more so known for its special effects.
Yeah,
that's
legendary.
Really legendary.
I think one of, if not the first movie to feature that level of CGI in the movie. So yeah, I think though what they need to do is they're gonna have to get Tron more out there.
Yeah, 'cause I think they're gonna have to do more promotion for it. They really gotta just hype people up for it.
Hire a Tron guy that do that walking meme. Get him out.
Yeah, seriously. Or shit. Are they doing? I know they did Tron. I mean, I know they
that series.
Well, yeah, they had that cartoon. I mean, hell, maybe do it for Infinity. Or do they already have it for Infinity?
In Disney Infinity video game, what Nick's referencing, they have like a Tron piece and they have some levels. See, a level. That's it.
Yeah. See, they need to really double down. Like,
Yeah. Where's my damn light cycle? I'm not sure if they had light cycles in it. I got some shopping to do. I know they had that. I know they had the flying tank, the flying thing. I don't know the exact damn names of it, but that Space Invaders looking damn thing. They had that, but they didn't have a dedicated Tron level. So. It's funny. Before this thing, I was more than ready and more than just willing to shit on this idea, and I was happy about it getting axed. Now you made me just miss the fucking thing.
Yeah, because
because if Tron thing would have came out, we would have gotten that stuff.
Oh yeah. Dude, like I said, Tron, like for me, Tron 2 was, that Tron Legacy was just, man, it was great. The soundtrack was nice. Mm-hmm. His story was decent, and then they did kind of leave off in a very interesting, I think, cliffhanger, for basically she crossed over. So now, I mean, heck, I was like, oh shit, the third movie might be dealing with, if there was a third movie, it might be dealing with them coming over, and now humanity dealing with the fact that, oh crap, these things that were once in our computers are now here. They have now, might have reached that uncanny valley too.
Because let's face it, man, Pixels ain't gonna get it done. I love the Pixels trailer; it was cool and stuff. But computer shit coming over into the real world, don't worry about it. If that's a problem, Disney, if you worried about that, don't worry about that. You got it with Tron.
Yeah, because the sad part with Pixels seem like it could be good, but it seemed like people gonna be hating on it because it got Adam Sandler and the King of Queens in there too.
Yeah. What, Kevin James?
Or Paul Blart. What was it?
It's funny, it's funny just how just Pixel just kind of came out. The big reason why I see Pixels not really doing that well is the Adam Sandler thing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's their intention, is to, let's face it, get that middle to older Generation X set like myself. But to get the asses and seats and to get the money that you want to get the young gamer, the current gamer, and let's face it, the current gamer, they've seen a few things in the arcade. Mm-hmm. Most likely they've seen DDR. They didn't come up back in the day with that, arcade full of machines. I mean, I'm talking about back in the day where you had 5 Space Invaders and 5 Pac-Mans and 2 Galagers,
Yeah.
And I because that that game really doesn't exist nowadays. I'm wondering if Pixels is gonna. Now, Pixels, evil arcade machines, 80s shit. Throwback. Now, my brother, Dominik, DYoungPromos, he does not demand a whole bunch, but I actually feared for my life because he was so intent on our next 2 subjects.
Yes.
It was the title of this video, because I know y'all are like, y'all probably saw the YouTube thumbnail that we're going to make for this, and you see the title and you're like, where is it? Y'all been talking about all this crazy shit. Here we go. We just saw it a few days ago. Free on YouTube.
Yes, free on YouTube. And free on the El Rey Network if you have it.
Yes. We're talking about none other than the successfully kickstarted, incredibly awesome, over-the-top, just masterpiece, Kung Fury. Woo!
I'm going to go ahead and say, I got one word about that movie. One word, and this word always works for anything that gets you turned up. Already. Now, but don't worry, true survivors. That's not all I gotta say about this crazy, awesome short film.
Yeah, it was. Very few things I see live up to
its hype.
Yeah, to the hype.
Because I mean, like GDX over here, he was kind of trying to lampshade, like, yo, man, you might not need to get too.
We get too hype.
Yeah, because I mean, I was like folks, I was literally like turned up about this thing ever since the trailer, ever since the crowning music of awesome that is David Hasselhoff's True Survivor video. Yes, y'all got. If you haven't seen that, watch that. Watch that before you watch Kung Fury, okay? Because that is some. This is pure. It is it is the greatest. One of the greatest songs ever. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That song needs to be. It needs. I think that song could be the #1 single in the country. It's already. It's got 10 million views. But going back to just
now, I want to say spoilers.
Yeah,
because we're gonna probably talk about some stuff that
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
It's unapologetically over the top. You see a lot of love for the 80s. It took it took the Scott Pilgrim thing and just took it to the nth degree.
Like pretty much what Shaolin Soccer and as the GDX mentioned, Scott Pilgrim, what they showed, yes. Yeah. Kung Fury is the zenith of all that. It is the penultimate over the top film.
It's crazy. It's crazy. One of the it's funny because it gets you through that onboarding process pretty quick.
Yes, like the first 6 minutes of the movie is probably one of the best establishing series moments since like the gas station situation in True Blood. Yeah. In these first 6 minutes, I'm gonna describe this to you. The first 6 minutes. It might not be in proper sequential order, but this is what these 6 minutes have. Okay, you get the company logo, Laser Unicorn. So it's
which is very 80s,
which is very
VHS,
80s.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you get to see the backdrop of 1985 Miami, and to show you that this Miami is a whole different monster. This Miami is covered with neon lights, and there's chaos happening in various parts of the city. All right, like we had like skaters carrying guns. Let me read right here. We had some street gangsters who catapulted a police cruiser dozen feet through the air.
Yeah, they stuck the skateboard under it.
Yeah,
they just washed it off.
And then you had another scene where you had this like muscle bound like stocky dude. He was jamming to a song, and then he got murked right there for his boom box.
Yeah, shot him up. Yeah,
and then we go to an arcade. We go to a arcade center.
Somebody's playing Laser Unicorns.
Somebody playing Laser Unicorns, and they lose, and they they getting mad at this. They getting mad at the arcade machine. They like, fuck you, and the machine is saying fuck you back.
Well, they kicked the machine.
Yeah, they kicked the machine.
And they said fuck you. And the machine on the screen goes fuck you.
And then it transformed, and it
slaughtered them.
It slaughtered those gamers, and it started wreaking havoc in the city. All right. Then we had you got a cop. You had a cop calling about. You had a cop like, oh my God, Kung Fury, we need help. Fast forward to Kung Fury in this dope as FedEx bachelor pad. Well, it's not really bachelor pad because he had a nice little lovely lady friend.
It was like this Chinese like
on top of his
like
top of his skyscraper,
old Chinese style.
And he gets the call, and he destroys the phone in his hand.
That's how he ends the conversation.
That's how he ends
he breaks it.
Breaks it in his hand, and his bae was like, "What are you gonna do?" "I'm gonna do my job." And he's running out. He's running out of his crib. Jump out of his crib.
Building.
He shoots the car door open, and he goes into it.
That's how he opens up his Lamborghini.
And then he's driving really fast in the city. Driving really fast in the city.
Straight shot to the monster.
Straight shot to the killer arcade machine, and he gets into this epic anime-esque battle with this thing. And what's even crazy is it starts tracking like an old 80s videotape.
Yeah,
and
that was really innovative. Let me just interject real quick. Yeah, it's really cool. You can tell the love that they have of not just various movies, but they have love for the media. And what I mean by the media is what it was most viewed on, because the influences for this short film were, and there is this huge kind of like retro electro kind of, in music. You got the synth wave, you got all types of different, synth wave.
Drive.
Yeah, you got Outrun. Yep. You got that movement. And then you've got, a neo-noir, a neo-80s noir for and stuff like Drive, like I said. And that's where, and where did all these influences come from as far as film-wise? You saw a lot of these on the VHS, the videotape. Yep. And the tracking thing, for a lot of people that don't know what tracking is, it's going to be hard to explain. But sometimes the signal would get a little screwed up and you have to adjust it. And so to straighten it out, you'd have to push a little button, or at early VHSs, you have to do a dial.
Yeah, you have to turn like a little knob.
So the tracking, the lines, like snowy lines would come in there sometimes. And they use the tracking to chop up the battle. Yeah, because it was pretty much like this battle between Kung Fury and this killer arcade machine. It was like the tracking thing served as like an off-screen moment of awesome here. Yeah, and then you had the wham shot that was like something out of an anime. Pretty much, Kung Fury, this battle literally took place up in the stratosphere, like up in space. Yeah, it went. And then he gets hit on the satellite, and he ricochets himself on the satellite, and he's doing like one of those anime. Him and the arcade machine is doing one of the flying anime face-off punches. And there's just, and you just like okay, holy shit, did this just happen right here? Can you tell he's turned up?
Yeah, it's like I remember dude, when I saw that scene GDX, well hell, you seen that, you probably was thinking the same thing I thought of, like, this is not a drill. They were going in like Lil Wayne. Okay, that's what they were doing. And then after that little battle, because we're still talking about the first 6 minutes, folks. But this is just how awesome it is. See, even within the 6 minutes of this 31 minutes short, all this stuff has gotten crammed into it. So after his battle with the robot, he narrates his origin, which is just really out there.
And it's a nod to her. We don't want to go through the whole thing, blow by blow. But it was a throwback to RoboCop.
It was definitely a throwback. And then it did a throwback to 80s opening sequences. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you pretty much have Hitler appearing in Kung Fury's timeline.
Hitler is actually a part of he's the big bad.
Yeah, he's the big bad. So yes, folks, that's the 6 minutes right there, folks.
And it was crazy and just really over the top, and that's what I love about it. The special effects, whoever worked on the special effects, this is an awesome demo.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is an awesome demo for them. Like, seriously, Hollywood, y'all need to get seriously, Hollywood. If you want to have like anime-esque type effects, or just Looney Tunes type stuff, or just things that you would see in comic books and whatever, get Lazy Unicorns on it. Yeah. They have showed that yes, you can do the impossible now, literally with that. You can literally do the impossible with special effects.
Oh yeah, and I think we've known that for some time.
It's just Kung Fury had to show it.
Well, it's style.
Yeah, it's style.
I think the big thing is style. We've been able to pretty much, from the artists mine to the big screen. We've been capable of that for probably about 15 years now. And so it gets to a point to where CGI had just kind of become an everyday thing. I mean, and a lot more often than not, it kind of becomes a detriment. And, you know, one of the best ways to just kind of avoid that whole, you know, issue with CGI is style. You know?
Yeah, and Kung Fury had a lot of
style and love for the source. You know, not source materials, but yeah, for its inspiration. And anything else you want to add, Nick?
All right. Well, shoot. Let's be honest, folks. You need to drop everything and watch this 31 minutes of pure awesomeness. And I'm gonna
or if you haven't seen it, I hope they haven't seen it. We just ruined it. We gave you the spoiler warning, but
well, yeah, I'm tripping. But it would get you. Let me put it like this. Heck, it got me and GDX so turned up that hell, we thought we were struck by lightning and bit by a cobra.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, it really was.
And it'll push. You've got to be into stuff like, that is really just out there.
And if you
and you got to love that time period.
Yeah, seriously. You got to have
at least some curiosity for it, because let's face it, we're talking like it's the end all be all. If you're not into that 80s aesthetic, you might not like it. But if you like just a crazy over the top thing, this is it. You know, if you don't like necessarily the 80s, but you like Tim and Eric, it's better than that. That's probably if you like Shaolin Soccer, you know. Yeah, that's what I'd probably say. You know, it's definitely cool in that respect. And now here's the thing. This was kickstarted more than successfully, but it was kind of cool. Before he got kickstarted, he only spent like $5,000 on the initial, the initial pitch, the footage that he shot. Keep in mind, he had like a giant Odin. Was that Odin or Thor?
No, that was Thor.
That was Thor. So, he had a giant Thor, and a lot of that stuff. He had the flipping the car thing, the police car. At the beginning. That was already done.
In the trailer.
The Lamborghini. When Kung Fury actually is like on top of the Lamborghini, it's going like 100 miles an hour, and he's shooting. That was already done. In there. And that it's just awesome that that they got that done on just $6,000. It got kickstarted successfully. Now the plan for Kung Fury now is, and it's a go, because they just they killed at Cannes. They open it at the Cannes Film Festival, the Cannes whatever film festival. The plan is it's going to get a feature length.
Yeah.
And now we have a bit of I think we're on a different mind about that one. For me, I don't want to be gloom and doom. Here's my thing about Kung Fury. I love it. It's awesome. Big 80s fanatic. Woo! Feature-length film. They're gonna have to add on quite a bit to get 90 minutes, or I think coming from an indie film background, I think, and dealing with distributors, I think 70 minutes is the minimum.
Yeah,
I think 70 is the minimum. So yeah, but most movies, they wanted to hit that hour and a half.
Yeah,
they want to hit the hour and a half. So my only fear is they add way too much crap on there. Hitler needs to be a one-dimensional character, because I don't want that whole dangerous precedent of him becoming beloved character.
Yeah, Hitler can't be like...
And then what we're going to talk about after this, Hitler's a character in that, and he's kind of a funny character. And it's like, I feel kind of icky with that. So I'm a little weirded out by, I don't want them to have to add a whole bunch of story elements and crap like that. Now, I think a cool thing would be a sequel.
Yes.
Already have that. That everybody, push that short film, but it's a sequel / follow-up. Have it written in such a way that you don't really have to see the first one. You can get started on, the big movie. I think that'll work. But another problem is, I forgot the director, the creator actor's name.
I think it's David Sandberg.
David Sandberg. He's the writer, director, and he started.
He's pretty much Fury. Yeah.
I wish they would take the risk of having him play his character, going with the unknown, but we know he's going to be recast. We know he's going to get recast.
And I think that's going to probably upset fans too, because because Sandberg he's done a really good job as Kung Fury. You know what I'm saying?
He's done an amazing job.
He's deadpan. He's very intense. He has no chill. I mean, it's...
And I'm not sure if that was a stuntman or not. I don't think it's a stuntman because they didn't really have a big budget. But damn, I know the fighting was done with wire work and green screen and stuff. But you can just look at his movements and how he was moving and like, damn, he's got skills, man. You know.
So, yeah, I mean...
And then it went animated.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. I mean, it's so much in this. I really hope we didn't spoil it. But,
anything.
you know, a couple of days. It's been out for a couple of days, so I'm sure you already got spoiled before we did it.
Or you had a fan, or you had a friend that showed you the movie or told you need to watch it, just like we're telling you.
So just watch it. I don't know, I don't know how the big screen, adaptation or whatever it's going to be is going to come out, but hopefully it's really awesome, and hopefully Hollywood's corporate meddling doesn't screw Kung Fury up. It's something special. It's something special.
Yeah, it really is.
You have anything else to add to the Kung Fury?
Man, let's see. Well, you know what? Should I you know what? I'm gonna read this little thing here, just to, if you're not even convinced.
Okay, cool.
All right. This movie.
Now tell us where we're getting this from.
Okay, okay. This is, I'm reading this directly from TV Tropes. I'm reading the entry World of Badass because this pretty much is going to show you what to expect in this movie and why you need to watch this. All right, you have street gangsters able to catapult a police cruiser dozens of feet through the air, living arcade cabinets with laser guns, Viking babes with Uzis and miniguns riding on dinosaurs, velociraptors with eye lasers, Kung Fu Hitler, a badass Kung Fu cop, and of course David Hasselhoff in a world dictated by rule of cool.
So yeah, it is. It's out there. The out there level is like on 10.
But now, when you look at Kung Fury, if you scroll down, you notice there was some comments, maybe some confusion. Some people were like saying, "Wow, this is kind of like Danger 5."
You might see Danger 5 come up a lot. When seeing Kung Fury and who came out first. The big thing is though, I don't want to get to that conversation.
Because we're not trying to throw shade to Danger 5 because it is a great show.
Yeah, I don't think because I think
they just a strange coincidence.
They dipped into a lot of similar.
Yeah, it was like pretty much the case of great minds think alike.
Yeah, and they had a lot of the same, especially in season 2 of Danger 5. They just went with a lot of the same influences. So I don't think either one's ripping the other one off, you know. But Danger 5, what is Danger 5 and why do we need to watch this?
All right, well,
let's let them know that. Let's let them know. Spoilers again.
Yeah, so again.
But we'll try not to do blow for blow.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a bunch of spoilers, but Danger 5 is in that same spectrum.
Yeah, it's in that same spectrum. It's more like a Team America meets Austin Powers.
And that is more for season 1 because there's one thing that you will. That's one thing that you will see because, like I did. Luckily, Nick saw Danger 5 before I did, and just he suggested it like you gotta watch this. Watch this fucking show. So I watched the show, and I didn't read a lot about it online. I tried to stay away from that because I didn't want to be spoiled. And it's funny. First time I started. Just couldn't get with it, wasn't in that mindset for something too crazy, and then I got into it. The first season is an alternate 60s, and it kind of puts you in that Team America, that Thunderbirds kind of vibe. It's like, what if World War II happened in the 60s, or it lasted till the 60s, or however it went on. And then the one that he knew was going to get me into it was season 2. Yeah, was season 2, where they unapologetically take their influence from the 80s.
From the violence to even a little bit of the nudity to just everything you could literally everything you could throw literally everything in the kitchen sink from the 80s basically.
Yeah, and it's a heavy 80s influence. And it's funny, they're in similar spots, but they're in a similar area, but they do their own thing.
Yeah, they do their own thing.
So Kung Fury, Danger 5, there's no rip off.
Yeah,
no, there's no rip off.
We just advise this to you folks. Just spend one night watching both those things.
Now, if you're a mega fan that can binge watch it and hey, go for it. But me personally, I would say just kind of watch an episode here and there. Don't binge watch that show because it's funny. I probably got about 2 episodes left in season 2, but I can tell you already, it's great. It's just I hit a weird episode and it just kind of went over my weird threshold. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna chill on Danger 5 because I watched like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning it to me.
I was binge watching. So yeah, with Danger 5, nice little meter doses, just be cool with that. And yeah, it's an awesome show. Right now, I think, is it still on Netflix now?
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's still on Netflix, so
now.
Definitely catch it, folks.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix now. DVD, Blu-ray. It hasn't been released yet on DVD.
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
but I bet when it does, a lot of the rental stores gonna be happy for it.
And let's go and spoil this. There's no season 3.
Oh, no season 3.
I don't think there's gonna be a season 3.
Yeah, because they, what I'm saying, they had the 60s, they had the 80s. It's like, what else can you do?
Yeah, and I don't want to see a weird time machine. I mean, it's possible with that show.
Yeah,
they go back to the 70s, the 90s. I don't want to see grunge. I don't want to see the American character become a grunge rocker.
Oh yeah,
not ready for the 90s. And then I really like Famous Pierre from the second season.
Yeah.
I want to see him replaced. I'm sure Pierre fans from the first one didn't want to see him replaced. Somebody said that they addressed that to some degree, so I got to see myself.
You still got to.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. So yeah, Danger 5 is definitely a must-watch if you like that retro, that crazy.
If you love Pulp Fiction, not the movie, Pulp Fiction as in the actual literary thing, 60 television and Japanese tokusatsu.
Yeah, definitely an influence there.
But, sure, you have anything, GDX, about Danger 5?
No.
Well, let me give y'all this little interesting tidbit. For anybody that's already a fan of Danger 5, you can catch Tucker, Sean James Murphy, on BuzzFeed in the episode Australians Try Australian American Food. Yes, our boy Tucker is trying some Outback, and it is priceless.
That's another thing didn't mention is it's an Australian produced show, and I think that's kind of cool to see how they perceive America, and because I appreciate that stuff. It's always been fascinating to me to see how different cultures perceive us, and I like and it's another reason why I like watching Japanese, dramas. I like watching Korean dramas. I like watching, with Danger 5 here from Australia. I like watching stuff from the BBC, not just Doctor Who. I love it for the cultural aspect and their spin on certain things. And then once again, I like seeing other cultures how they perceive America. Sometimes it's it's a bit biting.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. And this is an Australian produced show. And Ilsa can get it. And that's what I'm ending on.
Yeah, Ilsa. Yeah.
Claire, typical blonde. No, I don't want to say typical blonde.
But Ilsa and Claire, though, they both.
Ilsa is the Russian bad girl. And I think it's hilarious that she does all her dialogue in Russian. Just one of the weird things of Danger 5.
That show, yeah.
So we're rounding out our hour. We're actually coming in under the time from last week. Let's wrap this up. So, like I said, there was a lot of stuff this week. It was a lot of little stuff,
but hey, it was a lot. It was a lot to talk about this little stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was worried. I was like, "Are we gonna finish in 40 minutes?" But definitely not the case. Episode 2, like we did say, we're gonna start doing this on Mondays. The first episode, we said that we weren't gonna be stuck to a schedule. We had to figure it out, but we figured it out. Best thing for us to do is Mondays because we definitely want you to have something to turn up on for Monday. Monday sucks. Now we're going to give you a little something that you can enjoy on that crappy day of the week.
Yeah, because Mondays are always just craptacular.
And we know, in the Geek Sphere there's going to be lots of crazy stuff coming out. So we're going to be here to cover it. Doing our thing. As you might have seen on Instagram, our new catchphrase, Mondays, tune in. Turn up. I'm DeMarcus, aka GEEKS.
I'm Dominik, aka DYoungPromos.
Collectively known as the Young Brothers, and this was Geeks on Fleece. We out.
Deuces.